What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 112 of Snakes and a Fat Man. I just got done doing the Herb Collectors show with Mike, and we had Donato on, and I had a great time. So, if you guys can go check that out, I mean, it's really funny. However, it is 10:30 at night on the day before I'm supposed to release this show, so I'm a little tired. So, things may go off the rails a little bit. At the end of the day, just got to get shit out on time. This episode still may be about an hour late, but I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. However, this episode is brought to you by Chimera. Listen, learn what you don't know and learn it from Chimera if you're running a ball python business. Ball python businesses kind of suck right now, and it doesn't suck for Chimera. Okay, they're still fucking crushing it. So give them a call, learn about their consulting practices, and give them a shot. I guarantee that your businesses will not suck if you take advice from Chimera, because Patrick and Andre have been killing it for years. So go check them out at chimerareptile.com or Chimera Reptile on Instagram. All right, guys, this episode is also brought to you by Reptile, the original. What else could you say? Veteran owned by JT Tomlinson, one of my best friends. Go check them out. Reptile.com. Don't be a reptile bitch, all right? Your animals are going to be happier on Reptile, okay? Better than all the other shit that's out there. If you're not willing to pay $1 or $2 extra a brick, then you don't give a shit about your animals, okay? So go check out Reptile at reptile.com. They're available everywhere. They're on Amazon. You could go to their website. I think they're even on Temu, okay? Fucking Temu, all right? JT ain't playing around. Fucking JT is going to fucking take over the chip space, and as well he should. He's the original guy. So, again, reptile.com. So today I want to talk about some changes that are going on over here at Snakes and a Fat Man. Okay. The first thing being that we have too many shows right now. Not too many Snakes and a Fat Man shows, obviously. I only do it twice a month, but we do the Hot Girl show. We've done Bronx Down Under. We're doing a new show with me and my friend Dakem Duncan, called My One Black Friend and My One White Friend. And, for years now, I've been wanting to have a place to consolidate everything. Okay. And in 2022, I bought the fatmannetwork.com. Now, I know MJ just switched over his stuff to Trap Talk, the Trap Talk Network. And I want you to know I'm not copying him, man. I'm not copying him, man. I've had this domain and this site since 2022, so I don't want him to think I'm coming out and copying what he's doing. It's a good idea. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's a good idea. So I don't really care if it looks like I'm copying him, but I've had this in the works for years now, because we have shows like Where Are They Now? We have shows like Leveling Up. We have Hot Girl episodes. It's just like there's just too much to put just on YouTube, and I want to have a place where There's going to be merch for all the shows available. I want to have a place where there's clips and summaries of all the shows available. I mean, we have like 8 or 9 shows. So everything is going to be switching over to the Fat Man Network in a couple of months. And that includes the Patreon, that includes the Facebook and Twitter page, Twitter and not Twitter, it's X now, but the X pages. It's also going to include the Instagram pages. So gradually look for that change that's coming up. I'm working on the website now, and kudos to MJ for getting the idea out faster. But I really want to have a place. I want to have like a one-stop shop for Fat Man shows and everything else. And I feel like now is the time to do it. So that's one of the big changes that are going to be happening in 2024. Once I'm done with the website, I'll of course pop it up on all my socials, and we'll gradually do the changeover from there. So I want to thank everybody that's been, listening for the last 7 or 8 years, man, and I hope you continue to do so, because we're just getting started, man. We're having fun with it, and I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I love doing this. So I will see you guys on the Fat Man Network. It's probably going to take a couple of months to get it done, but of course, all of these shows are going to remain going. Twice a month. The Hot Girl shows are going to be on Sundays. The My One Black Friend and My One White Friend is going to be on alternating Sundays. So we're not going anywhere. It's just that I want to give you guys a heads up that it's gradually going to switch over to the Fat Man Network. So thanks, guys. I just wanted to let everybody know while I was working on this. So providing there's no new hospital stays, all right, or there's no new leg problems. Speaking of the leg, it's going a little rough with the prosthetic. There's still a lot of pain with the prosthetic, so I'm not going to be able to make Tinley this year. I'm not going to be able to make Tinley in March, but I will make Tinley in October, because I think that by then we'll figure out what's wrong with everything. And still going to physical therapy a couple of times a week, trying to figure out what we need to. But good news is that I did go to my vascular guy, and the other leg is all well and good. So look, as long as I have one, I'll hop if I need to. Okay, so that's going to be that's some of the things that we're working on for all you people that didn't get your shirts yet, or 15-minute posters and stickers and things like that. It's just because it's hard carrying 15 or 20 boxes that are this big to the post office on my own, and I have to get help with it. So I will I'll definitely make that happen within the next week or so. I just want everybody to know, all the people that have been waiting. So you will definitely get that. And I hope to still see your Instagram reels and your unboxing videos. But believe me, I appreciate when any of you guys do something like that, because it means that there's a little support behind the old Fat Man. So I'm going to take that support and I'm going to run with it. All right. Episode is also sponsored by Charlie over at Gray Rider Reptiles. I love disruptors in general, okay? And I love someone who looks at an idea and says, I could do that, but I could do that better, okay? That's the reason I started this podcast 7 years ago. Charlie over at Gray Rider is just killing it now. He's doing exactly the same thing as the big guy is doing in the hobby, and he's doing it with the exact same results. Okay, so Charlie has tests for, I'm going to read it because there's a couple of new ones here. Desert Ghost and VPI Exantic, those are brand new. Okay, brand new. Gray Rider does tests for that now. They have tests for Clown, Cryptic, Asphalt, Candy, Gravel, Hurricane, Hypo, Lavender Albino, anything in the Bell Complex, Piebald, Ultramel A and B, and Yellow Belly. Okay, so again, same accuracy as the big guy that's doing it, but his turnaround time is like 2 weeks, man. The big guys right now are making some people wait 4 months. Okay. Charlie looked at it, said I could do it better, and went out and fucking did it. And I love Charlie for it. Go check him out. Get your shit tested at shedtesting.com and mention the Fat Man when you go get your test, and you will get 10% off. Okay. 10% off. How could you fucking beat that? Okay. Shedtesting.com. Tell Charlie he's awesome. All right, guys. Fucking Tinley, March, 2 weeks away. I won't be going, but fucking, I'm kind of bummed. Kind of bummed that I'm missing it. I'm definitely bummed that I'm missing out on Redline's initiative of the fanny packs and the patches that go with it. I have my bags on order already. They're actually being delivered right now, and there'll be two. That's right, two Fat Man patches. So they're going to be available on the website, on the new website, the Snakes and the Fat Man Net or the Fat Man Network. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Plus, I'm going to be in this little chair a little bit longer than I thought I was. And I got to tell you, a bag is not a bad idea. Okay, can't be stuffing my pockets with shit while I'm sitting in a wheelchair, and I'm a fat guy, so having to fucking get in those pockets a little difficult. A bag would help me, but I mean, I know all of you breeders out there have already ordered your patches, and it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun to collect them all. So I definitely appreciate what Robin's doing. If you need to ship anything, okay, doesn't matter if it's reptiles or not, although Robin is the number one reptile shipper in the country, came in and just fucking crushed it. Go to redlineshipping.com. Okay. Now, if you're shipping snakes, or if you're shipping books, or if you're shipping patches, I mean, it's just worth it. It's just worth it to go through Redline. Use the code Robin60, and you'll get 60% off of your first two shipments with Redline. Then, after you're done with that, use the code FATMAN5 and get an additional $5 off Redline's already discounted rates. Go check them out at redlineshipping.com. And if you see that bald motherfucker at Tinley, he'll probably be in a red fucking shirt. Say thanks, man. And where could I get patches? And where could I get these bags? It's definitely a cool idea. Robin has my back all the time, and I want everybody to know Robin has full support. I mean, full support of the fucking Fat Man Nation. So, redlineshipping.com. Go check them out. All right. So another thing that we're doing here in the next couple of months is I think I'm gonna switch this show from being a produced, recorded show that I just release on YouTube on the 1st and the 15th to an actual live show. Okay. I got to tell you, I'm tired of editing everything, man. It's like, it's so much work. It is literally so much work. And why do it when you could just do a live and pop out the audio straight up to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all the other iHeartRadio. It would be so much easier if I didn't have to edit every episode every month and do these pre and post show tapings and everything else. So it's kind of a little bit of me being lazy, but also it's kind of a little bit like, why do it if I don't have to? I could just do a live instead, and make that work. And I got a feeling that I'll still have the same amount of viewers and listeners anyway. So I tried the produce thing for 2 or 3 years now, and it's just getting to be too much work, especially with my day job on top of it. Want to get some family commitments in, and want to spend time with a new girlfriend. I want to do all this stuff, and I can't be doing that if I'm spending literally 50 to 60 hours a month having to edit everything. So I'm just being honest with you. I just figure it's easier to do a live. Plus, with the lives, you actually get the audience participation. And I think that nowadays that's a big thing, and that's what this show is actually missing out on when I just release these pre-recorded episodes. So what I'm going to do though is to make it a little different. I'm still going to release on the 1st and 15th only. Okay. I think that I'm going to do the live at 9 o'clock, and I think that it's going to be different days. Basically every 2 weeks, it's going to be different days. So this way, I'm not conflicting with any other one particular podcast on that date. So it's still going to be the 1st and the 15th. I'm going to just advertise it a little bit more. And I think it's going to be fun because I'm really, I've always liked the audience participation thing. And I think it's time we did more of that. And this way, every show is going to be live. So my one black friend, my one white friend is going to be live. Snakes and the Fat Man is going to be live. The Fat Man live show is obviously going to be live. It's just kind of easier for me to do all this shit and just do the lives and not recorded videos. Now there will be recorded videos that I do, around here or when I go to shows. And I'm still going to release those too, also on the Fat Man Network. But that just doing it live is going to save me a bunch of time, and more importantly, it'll help me avoid burnout. So I'm going to start doing the live shows once this 15 minutes of lame group that I've already recorded is all said and done. And the first 15 minutes guest is going to be on the live, and we're just going to do it all that way from now on. And I just think it'll be easier, and I think it'll be more fun, especially if I could get a man in a chair, or a woman in a chair who works behind the scenes and could pull up all the quotes, or the not the quotes, but the chat room how come I can't think of the fucking word? The chat room comments. And yeah, it's just gonna be more fun. Again, nothing's changing as far as the release dates, but the show may be on Monday, the show may be on Tuesday, the show may be on Thursday. But it's gonna be 9 p.m. start time, and released every 1st and the 15th, like I've been doing for the last 7 or 8 years. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and that'll happen once I get all these initial 15 minutes of lame batches done and out, because I want to be fair to everybody. So again, doing that, looking for a man or a woman to fucking hold down the back end, and one that I could trust, not one that's gonna fucking change personalities on me fucking 2 weeks into the fucking thing. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's pretty exciting. So between that, the Fat Man Network, we got a lot of shit going on this week, or this year. And just remember that currently I'm a one-man band. So if it takes a little bit longer than I expected, it's going to take a little bit longer. But nobody's going to do a better job than yourself. It's something that you're working on, right? So that's what we're working towards for the first half of 2024. Also, this is the last month in the quarter where you guys could buy your Hero Company bracelets. Okay, we actually sold a bunch of them already. I think I don't know. I think we're up to 35 or 40, and these are $35 to $50 bracelets a piece. But again, just by buying a bracelet, you're helping out a veteran with PTSD get a service dog. So that's a big thing to me. Helping out the veterans is always a big thing for me, and I want to keep doing it. When this quarter is over with, the next quarter we're going to be partnering up with St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and we're going to figure out what you could purchase from them and use a code or whatever. I mean, you shouldn't need a fucking code. You shouldn't need a fucking discount to help out fucking kids with cancer. Okay, so that's going to start in April. You shouldn't need a fucking coupon code to fucking help out a veteran get a service dog. I mean, these are just things that you should do. Okay. And don't act like you're a fucking hero for fucking doing it. It's fucking what you should do. Okay. Don't be like, well, I bought a bracelet. Well, buy 2 bracelets then, you fucking low expectation having motherfucker. All right. Buy 2 bracelets, buy 2 bracelets and a fucking hat from the hero company. I mean, do shit that you can to help that causes you minimal amount of work. Like helping out somebody doesn't have to be this giant fucking endeavor. Okay. You could fucking spend $30 on a fucking bracelet and know that you help somebody, and you look fucking cool and badass in the process. So everybody, make sure you stop by theherocompany.com or the hero. Yeah, no, it's theherocompany.com/snakes and the fat man. That's my affiliate link. This way we can keep track of how much we did, and any commission that I get off of any of these things, it's going right back to the company. And I'm going to show you guys what commission I've earned, and I'm going to show you guys the check that I write to the company. So, full transparency over here at Snakes and the Fat Man. Full transparency has got me in trouble quite a bit, but I feel like it's something that, you guys aren't going to watch me if I'm not fucking honest with you. Right. So listen, just give more than you take. Like fucking Ty Park said, fucking go out and buy a bracelet through the Hero Company. Next month, I'm going to give you guys links to get shirts or whatever through St. Jude's Children's Hospital. We're going to do something cool for them, and then we're going to make a donation to that as well. And give more than you take, guys. All right, we're going to talk about Clutch for a minute. That's CLTCH.io. Now, you guys could go out and use other management software for your ball python stuff. Look, I get it. Okay. But if you want the Apple of ball python management software, then Clutch is the way to go. The rest of it is just a PC version of ball python management software. And everybody got a PC, right? Fucking, if you want to fucking be that guy, if you want to be that Apple guy, then you got to use Clutch. Okay. It's a cloud-based software system that lets you manage inventory and everything, pairings, feedings of your ball python collection. So you could actually take your collection to the next level with Clutch. Go check them out now at CLTCH.io.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes and the Fat Man proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
What's up, guys? It's Justin at Kinova. For the past 5 years, 15 Minutes of Lame has become a launch pad for so many new successful breeders and a badge of honor in this industry. It's been so amazing to watch the passion and dedication you guys have and to watch your businesses grow. Just remember, the next me might be you. Bring it.
15 Minutes of Lame!
What's up, everybody? Look who I got here. Fucking Charlie Ryan from fucking Reagan, Renee, Royal Pythons. I got so many questions. What's up, Charlie?
What's going on?
All right. Jesus. Okay, so you know how this works. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give you 15 minutes on the clock, and we're gonna let you pimp all your shit. And that's gonna start right now. Now, I want to make fun of the name, right? But you're gonna tell me what it's named for, and then I'm gonna feel bad. So tell me where the name is from.
Yeah, so it's the simplest explanations. The company's named after my daughter. She was a huge part of the inspiration for us doing this. She was the first one in the house actually to watch a snake discovery egg cutting video and say we should have eggs. So we only had a couple of pet snakes at the time, and she got into the egg cutting and wanting to breed. So that's kind of what kicked off my curiosity. And then it kind of ran from there.
But you
So
had snakes prior to that.
we had a couple, just more or less pets at that point. We had 2 corn snakes and 2 ball pythons around that time when she started to express interest in breeding.
Right.
So,
2 normals or 2.
no, the corn snakes that were like visually, they were like, you know, what is that? Abbott's like reverse Okati albino, basically, and the other one was like a sun-kissed ghost het something. Before I even knew what hets were, it's like a 5 het corn snake,
Right.
which is still only like $150 animal, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. The corn snakes, like I was gonna get into them for a while, back when we first started Eyeballs, and I was like, "There's so many stupid names and fucking."
Yep.
It's like everything you learned with ball pythons, as far as the morphs go, you have to learn 15 times that because there's so many stupid little fucking corn snake morphs that are still worth about $80 at a show. You know.
So yeah. So there was a little more thought too than just slap my daughter's name on it. So the thing for me that I thought is, one, we like the idea of putting an R in the logo and being able to kind of get like a symbol that would in time hopefully be recognizable. And then also a lot of brands, even outside of this industry, or especially outside of this industry, right, are just a name, right? And it becomes a thing that becomes known after a while. So you have like Louis Vuitton or Ralph Lauren, things like that, or Rolls Royce. In this case, is why we like the Reagan Renee part of it, because it has that. We could try to draw some association with the quality and the R symbol and things like that. So there was a little bit more thought into it than that.
So the intention behind it was to be an Apple, or like Hewlett Packard, or Samsung. Just where people see it and they know right away.
Yeah, well, that's the idea. It's on a long enough scale. I don't have any delusion that we're anywhere near that right now, but that was the kind of the vision at the time when we started.
Well, is that the intent though? Is that the final goal? Is to just be a Kinova type of?
I think within this space, within ball pythons, I'd like to get it to that point. Yeah.
And with everything happening right now, are you like, well, maybe it's going to take a little longer than I thought?
Oh, it'll take a long time to get there. And I don't think even the size and scale of Kinova is not on the radar. I think actually more, and even like Billy, who we've gotten kind of close with over the last couple of years, even that's way bigger than anything we want. More like, Ozzy, everybody in ball pythons, I think, recognizes who he is, right?
Yeah.
And he has a scale that's closer to probably where we would land in time, I think, to continue to add genetic power in a small space and just cycle out the kind of lowest stuff and continue to upgrade it, in the same space. I think it's the
right. Cycle out the junk. The problem is that so many people are cycling out the junk now, right? Like that.
Right. Yeah, fair enough.
I think 2024 is going to be the first time literally ball pythons are sold for food, for other snakes, because I just think there's so much shit going out there that's worth only $20-$30 right now. I don't know how much food prices would be. I mean, they're probably $8 to $10 bucks per snake, but if you have a $30 snake, is it really worth spending $100 feeding it that year? Because a lot of people don't have a wholesale option. A lot of people don't know wholesalers or anything, like that, especially the newer people. And the newer people are the people that are tending to have the low dollar animals, like there's nothing I hate more than reading something like reading a post where they're like, my 2 ball pythons just locked. It's not going to be anything special, but I really want to have eggs. Like, then why are you fucking doing it? Those snakes are gonna die. They're either you're not gonna find pet people homes for them, and you're not gonna be able to sell them at shows. So why are you even doing that?
Yeah, it's tough finding the right balance too, right? Because people don't want to practice on necessarily a really high dollar investment level animal, but at the same time, like you said, you also have to have a grasp on the fact that I'm going to have these animals, and I've made clutches when I started too that fell into that category to a degree. We learned quickly though, and tried to get out of that now.
Right.
But Yeah, it's a balance. You're going to have animals. You have to either foot the bill to care for, or like you said, they're going to wind up under somebody's heat lamp.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, look what happened to that kid. That kid Gabriel, when he killed a scaleless back when they were like 50 grand a piece.
Oof.
And I was like, dude, wouldn't you have rather killed a pinstripe? You know, like fucking. It's like, come on, dude. And he's like, yeah, you know, now I'll just have my dad buy a new scaleless. And you know, like people don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
And this kid, I think he spent close to $1 million, and he's out. You know, he's out already, and it's been maybe 3 years or whatever. I think he lasted for 1 year until the toxic positivity and negativity of the hobby got to him. So you got to be prepared for that too, right?
Yep.
It's like fucking how many people actually just irritate the piss out of you versus how many people are there that you actually think are cool and would listen to?
Is that a question, like an actual question?
Yeah, that's an actual question.
Yeah. Hey, well, here's the thing. If I find that someone and I aren't well aligned, and we're probably too different to get along, I'm just going to. I got a full-time job, a family, stuff like that. I'm just going to probably not spend time with them in the industry. Right. So I'm not going to sit here and say nobody annoys me in the industry, but I'm not going to spend time or energy on that. Right? I'm just going to associate with a couple people that I think are good influences, the right people to be around, that, you know, have been either that or I've been friends with them for a long time, and then I keep it moving.
I think I could learn from you. How old are you?
Me? 36.
36, yeah. 36-year-old teaching a 50-year-old how to fucking act. So how long have you been doing this?
We're probably into the 4th year at this point.
So you're COVID.
We're COVID breeders. Yep, we had some pets going into COVID, but the actual exploration of breeding and stuff definitely kicked off for us during COVID.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask, how much have you spent versus how much have you lost?
Yeah, for I was gonna make the joke that for IRS purposes, but it's really so my wife doesn't hear the number out loud. I'm not comfortable answering that.
No, it's okay. Just tell me a number and I'll triple it. You know,
yeah, it's I'll tell you a number, you triple it. Okay, 30,000.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Vegas. God damn it. God damn it. And how much have you gotten back so far?
Yeah. So what we've gotten back, we've put pretty much right back in as investment, but we've somewhere between 20 and 30 that we've gotten back. But
okay.
Right back in. And so I want to throw something else out there too, because I don't want people to think, because if you start to do math and figure out, if you looked around on Instagram, you're going to start to figure out what the collection's worth. Didn't just a chunk that somebody gave me or something like that. And not that I actually have a problem with that. If you're able to put together a decent enough plan that somebody's willing to invest in you, even if it's some of these young guys and their parents, right?
Right.
If they're willing to take the risk on that, that's fine. But for me, it may look like I'm spending a lot now, but there's a long career behind that I put into getting that money from somewhere. It wasn't so, right. You know, I think I think there's people that have come in and dropped a lot of money, and people are like, oh, they just came in and dropped all this money. You got to keep in perspective that there's probably a lot of hard work that went into that money. It just might be in a different industry. So,
well, right, exactly. And a lot of money to some people may not be a lot of money to other people.
It's fair.
You know, I mean, that's really the whole thing, right? It's like, just because a guy drops 50 grand doesn't mean he's rich. It just means that he might have worked his day job fucking harder, or he might have, you know, pulled out, you know, his retirement, which I would not recommend. Don't pull out your retirement to fucking start a ball python company. I mean, take that money and put it into opening an Arby's or something, because that'll at least be some guaranteed money back. Now, the overall picture of Reagan Renee Royal Pythons in 5 years, where do you see yourself?
5 years. We just broke about 100. So let's just talk about size first. We just broke about 100 animals. Now probably 30 of those are for sale. So over the next couple of months, we'll probably drop back down into the 70, 80 range. We'll probably hover between 100, 150. Maybe by the end of the 5 years, we'll be peaking around that 150 as holdbacks. Right. Just in size. Otherwise, overall vision, again, the idea for us is to make animals. We talked earlier, right, about the lack in at least monetary value in animal. It's not to say that it's a living creature that it should just necessarily be like, people throw all kinds of things out there to do with like normals and misses and stuff like that, or like feeders or whatever the case is. But monetary value, I mean, we're trying to produce stuff that has, or even a genetic or a breeding value. So our target kind of customer, at the 5-year mark, we should be there. Right now, we're kind of just breaking into it. You can start to see it coming together and the animals we're producing. But our target kind of customer would be breeders, other breeders, not even necessarily just new or interested in breeding, but other semi-established breeders that are in the area where time frame that kind of we're in right now, the 3 to 4 year mark, probably. Right. So making things that are multi-recessives, combos on that with, potentially other hets on top of that too. So we're, like I said, just starting to break into that now. So that would be the vision, to supply stuff that is not even necessarily the most, although they tend to be visually exciting, but not even necessarily the most visually exciting, but something that's a really genetically powerful animal. It's going to hold a lot of value for you to breed and make things with. That's right.
Are you a show guy or no?
We do no shows right now. Our clutch numbers are low. We've done from about 7. The first year that we actually started looking at this as an investment before we even crossed into making it a full-on business, we did 2. But then after that, we've done about 7 or 8 clutches a year for the next 3 after that. So,
gotcha. Okay.
All right. Holding a lot of that back now, and the few that we've put up, they've moved pretty quick. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at your morph market. So everybody go follow Reagan, Renee, Royal Pythons on Morph Market. Let's talk some sponsors now. Fucking, do you use Reptile?
Yes. Not exclusively. And I went away for a little bit, but I recently went back because the other stuff I was getting, I went back.
Yeah. JT does not give you a fuck you. Okay, that's awesome. Do you use Redline shipping?
Yep.
Fucking A, that's what we want to hear. Robin does not give you a fuck you as well. Now,
couldn't not use it.
That's what I'm saying. All right, that's what I'm fucking saying. Now, do you have a sea serpent's rack somewhere in your house?
I have a sea serpent's incubator, not a rack.
There you go. That's fucking great. Chris Nettles does not give you a fuck you.
Yeah, that guy Chris, he was like a Jersey transplant, right? Or a Jersey Philly guy that went down to Florida.
Yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah.
I had a couple conversations with him when I was getting the incubator. He was awesome.
Yeah, he's just a great dude, man. Now, have you ever bought anything from Reptile Deli?
Nope, this will be the first one I got off.
Listen, Brian would give you a fuck you, but you're a veteran, so he's not going to give you a fuck you at all. He's going to give you a thumbs up, the old Brian. Now, have you ever used Liberty Business Services?
No.
Just check them out. They donate to US ARC for every customer. Kevin does not give you a fuck you simply because you're a veteran. Okay? Do you test with Gray Rider?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking look at that. Look at that. Charlie
a couple times a week.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Now, I saw your logo. It's a good logo, but it doesn't look like it was done by Steward Design.
It was not done by Steward Designs, but I'm certainly open. I heard he was a vet too, so if I wind up reformatting in the next couple of years, maybe at that 5-year mark, maybe we'll go that route. Yep.
Blake is former Marine, I believe. And great dude, man. I mean, great fucking guy. Now let's see. Have you ever been to a herp show?
No.
Well, Sean and Laurie would ordinarily give you a fuck you, but you're a veteran, so they're not going to give you a fuck you. Okay, it's just how it happens. Now, have you ever bought a snake from Kinova?
A couple.
All right. Yeah. So fucking Justin does not give you a fuck you, but wait, he might give you a fuck you. But it doesn't matter. Your time is up. But fucking, let's see. Do you use clutch?
Not right now. I toyed around with it a little bit, but I'm not using it really.
Yeah, Justin would give you a fuck you, but you're a vet, so he's not going to give you a fuck you. So, I mean, the hardest part on any of those fucking management software is the initial dial-in, right? Like fucking, if you already have 300 snakes, it's going to be a pain in the ass to use Clutch or Husbandry Pro or, whatever, because you got to input all of those fucking animals. So use Clutch when you only have 3 or 4, okay? So that you get into the habit of fucking inputting your animal and you don't have a fucking full day job ahead of you just by inputting, just from inputting animals. So, Charlie, how could people get in touch with you?
Easiest way is on IG, right? On Instagram, at Reagan, Renee, Royal Pythons. And then we're on Morph Market too. But that's it. Otherwise, just reach out, DM me too anytime.
For IG, do you have any stupid fucking underscores or dots in your name? Or
oh yeah, there's quite a few underscores in there.
Oh my god damn it!
I tried to dodge that just now because I saw Jay get ripped on the periods last week. So.
It's so stupid. Like fucking, just spell out the whole thing, man. It's like fucking. You could always tell a kid that grew up in like the early 2000s, because remember in the early 2000s, like everything had to be underscored. And you're like, fucking, yeah, this motherfucker is young, So, but okay, so it's Reagan _ Renee _
oh yeah,
Royal.
You don't have to type all that to find it, though. Once you get through about the Reagan and you get halfway into Renee, it usually should pop up.
All right, well, fucking people, go follow fucking Charlie. Charlie's an awesome guy. Charlie's a vet who's friends with Leviathan, right? Because I remember they used you during their campaign.
Yeah, that was fun. Actually, I reached out to them and said, "Hey, feel free, to let me know if you want to do something together. I'd love to jump in and help." We're friends through this industry. We didn't know each other outside of that. But
are you in North Carolina or South Carolina too?
I'm up in Jersey. I was in North Carolina for a couple of years, but no, not down by them.
Oh, we're in Jersey at?
South Jersey area. I'm right outside Philly, 20 minutes outside Philly, suburbs area.
Oh. Okay, yeah. I go there a lot. Next time I'm down there, I'll let you know. So, all right, listen, everybody. Charlie Ryan, Reagan, Renee, Royal Pythons. Go follow him on IG and fucking Morph Market. You don't have a TikTok, right? Some tells me you're way too serious to have a TikTok.
I don't have a TikTok, no.
Yeah, all right, good man. Good man.
My daughter would love for us to make a TikTok, though, but maybe one day.
Well, you'd have to have your daughter run it because fucking a 36-year-old is going to look at TikTok and be like, how the fuck does this even work? Charlie, thank you very much for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Everybody, Charlie Ryan, Reagan, Renee, Royal Pythons.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes and the Batman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Life!
Listen, guys, Steward Design doesn't just create logos, they build brands. What do I mean by this? Well, your brand has both a verbal and visual side. Think of this as your brand message and brand image. Your brand message is what initially draws clients to you and continually generates new business. After that, the quality of your product and service keeps them coming back and retains them. Without effective messaging, you're only going to be connecting with a small percentage of the clients you could be connecting with. Your brand message helps you clearly define who you are, how are you different from your competitors, what value you offer to your clients, and why potential clients should choose you over others. For this reason, Steward Design always starts branding projects by developing your brand's message first. Creating a logo without understanding why and how it needs to look is only going to hold your company back and should be considered fucking malpractice. Steward Design starts by clarifying your goals, audience, and industry. Then they form your messaging. After that, they strategically determine what colors, styles, and fonts make the most sense to use. And then finally, how the logo needs to look and function. You see, the visual identity of a company should be a natural result of proper strategy. Because the question really shouldn't be, do I like this? It should be, will this work? Steward Design figures out what will actually work and provides you with a true investment to grow your business. When done right, it should attract the right people and it should reflect your business properly. It should make your company more memorable and it should build trust and credibility with your clients. On the other hand, if it's done poorly, it could do the exact opposite. It could make you look amateur and can actually deter your business. Don't settle for a fucking idiot that simply offers you a cheap logo. Build your brand the right way. Bring out your best so you could get it right from the start and finally move out of your mother's fucking basement, crush it at Tinley, Pomona, or Arlington, and build a life for yourself doing what you love. Contact Steward Design today. You could reach them at stewarddesignbrands.com. Again, that's stewarddesignbrands.com. Chase Patton, the second in charge over at Kinova, has really earned a reputation as just like an awesome guy in the community. I mean, I've known Chase for years, always been a great friend, always been a great guy to just fucking talk to and fucking have fun with. And he's probably one of the best looking guys in the ball python hobby. I mean, he has no ass, but fucking, from the waist up, fucking Chase is a definite 10 as far as looks wise. Okay. Chase went through some shit a couple of years ago, had a tumor removed from his fucking head. And he had a bunch of help from the community. And I went through some shit, under a year ago, had some help from the community. We figured it would be fun to talk about and just catch up because I haven't really hung out with Chase since the leg got chopped off. So, this one is just a fun one. It's one of my friends. It's one of my friends that I'm just hanging out with and bullshitting with. He's a good guy. He has his own podcast called Late to the Mic that's on, I believe, every Thursday at 10. And that's with my boy Patrick from Chimera and Troy from Best Dressed Balls. So it's a great fucking podcast. Make sure you go listen to them because you're going to actually learn something. I mean, you have Chase and fucking Patrick in a room with fucking Troy. I mean, if you just listen to them, you're going to learn shit that you're just not going to get anywhere else. So, there's definitely a place for learning, but they do it in a way that doesn't come across as teaching and lecturing. They basically have fun with it. And I love all of those guys. So make sure you go subscribe to Late to the Mic on Thursday nights at 10 o'clock on YouTube. Okay. Listen, that's all I really got to say about that. Okay. Chase is great. Here's my one-on-one with Chaise Patton of Kinova. What's up, everybody? Look who I have here.
What's going on?
The head honcho at Late to the Mic and a little company called Kinova. Fucking Chaise Patton. What's up, brother?
Small startup, we're doing okay.
Late to the Mic obviously has been way more rewarding than your work at Kinova, right?
Absolutely. It's just gangbusters over there Late to the Mic on Thursdays.
I know it because you guys came out like a bullet. I mean, you guys came out and you had 35 views. And then I looked at it just this morning and now you guys have 42 views and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like tens of people watch our show.
I love the growth. All right. Dozens of people. No. Everybody subscribe to Late to the Mic on YouTube. What's going on, brother? It's been a while since I've seen you. I think Arlington was the last time I've seen you.
Yeah, Arlington was the last time. Yeah. Man, we have been just so crazy busy at the facility, getting so much done. A lot of crazy clutches, a lot of great stuff happening. We're missing on all the odds we want. It feels like right now we've got the clutch numbers, but we're missing out on getting the right males and then just missing on the big combos. But we got more shots, lots of cool stuff, and we're staying busy, man.
It's nice to see that you guys miss the odds on occasion because everybody thinks that Justin just cuts open the egg and boom, it's the quad head fucking visual, like fucking and it's so funny because when we were with Eyeballs, we really excelled at if a clutch could be worth $8,000 or $300, we excelled at hitting the $300 odds. Like we were so good at that, and just fucking feeling like it was a waste of time the whole year. So it's nice to know that you guys fucking miss every now and then, right?
Yeah, see, people only see the Instagram reels of the good clutches. Like last week, I pulled 4 full slug clutches, and it hurt.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fucking
yeah,
heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking when the slugs come out and you're like, motherfucker. It's hard when one slug comes out on like a clutch that you've been waiting for. But when 4 or 5 slugs come out, you're just like, dude, what have I done with my life? It's rough, man. Talk to me about how you started there versus what you do now, and how long it took you to get to this point.
yeah. So, like 7, 8 years ago, now went down originally, and was taking care of hatchlings, helping Justin feed, and just kind of like doing small management collection stuff. Just, I mean, cleaning through the facility, setting up eggs, and that was pretty much it starting. And he just kept talking to me and just teaching me along the way, being my mentor. And now I'm at the point where I'm doing 95% of all the pairings. We'll talk through pairings. Like that's the fun thing. On like Tuesdays, we'll work on pairings for hours in the afternoon, and we're just like bouncing ideas back and forth and talking through like every little detail. And it's a lot of fun where, he considers my full input with what I think we should be, pairing, and, ideas for certain males with females. So it's pretty amazing the freedom and power he's given me now, where I run the collection. I do all the feeding now. I feed the whole collection, minus the hatchlings. Rob Roush has been there, and he takes care of all the hatchlings now and does a great job, and he feeds those. So I'm in charge of making all the cool stuff happen. I love it. I get to breed all the snakes, make the cool babies, and I'm still setting up clutches, and I'll still clean tubs.
Well, is there ever a point where you guys will argue about a project's direction or anything like that? And do you stand your ground with Justin, or are you just like, all right, listen, you own all the shit, so I guess we got to do what you want?
No, that's the nice thing. We definitely it definitely feels 50-50 on throwing ideas back and forth. We very rarely butt heads, or it's funny because him at the level he's at, sometimes he'll be like, well, what male do you think? And I'll say, well, I really think this is going to be the absolute best male to maximize that female. And he's like, perfect. That's the answer I wanted. Like, just once in a while, I'll get like those little checkers of like, oh yeah, Chase has it all. Like, he's good.
And would you say you're employee of the month for months running? Because a lot of you guys there are like firing on all cylinders. Like Summer is crushing it, right? I heard that Rob is fucking killing it. I know what you do now, and fucking Justin's killing it. How many other employees are there?
Yeah, so we have 2 more employees besides Rob, Summer, and I. We've got Chaz, and he manages and cleans through like all of our males and all of our subadults, and just make sure they're in the best shape possible. And then we've got Greg, and Greg's probably the employee of the month because he takes care of the rats. And yeah. And he's honestly, honestly, he's amazing at it though. Like, not only does he just like care for the rats and like make sure everything's clean, he is like in every minute detail, making sure every little thing is perfect and making full like counts. And he's awesome. He really is.
And who's the other guy? Not Greg, the other guy?
Chaz.
Is Chaz the guy that used to own the company with his brother?
No, Josh. Josh doesn't work with us anymore. Okay, Josh is actually back with his brother. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're doing snake stuff. I think they're working on other projects together now.
Gotcha. Okay. And do you have your collection at home as well? Because I know that Justin is kind of like one of those dudes where he's like, yeah, this has to be the priority here, no matter what we do. So do you keep animals at home or no?
No, I don't. And I'm okay with it because I wouldn't want to put all my energy all day into something just to have to do it at night as well.
Right. Yeah.
It wouldn't be super conducive. But
Yeah. And you moved there for this job, right?
yeah, I moved 8 hours south from Southern Indiana
Okay.
to Justin.
And looking back, would you say it's worth it or not worth it? You could say it. He won't listen to this anyway. You could say it wasn't worth it, but fucking.
All right, in that case, no, it was totally worth it. I mean, that's the cool part. Like, I went down, I mean, over 10 years ago now, like 13, 14 years ago, and just did a summer internship with him initially as a like, oh, I'm buying snakes from Justin, and then I got lucky enough to do a summer internship with him when he had like a 10 by 14 shed in his backyard with like 10 racks in it.
Right.
And just getting to be with him from like friends with him then to the progression of now where like I've got like a mentor, big brother that, I get to do what I love for a living and make the coolest snakes in the world. So I'm just super thankful.
And how old were you when you moved there?
When I moved, I was like 24, 25.
Oh, okay. All right. And I was going to say,
Yeah.
What are you, about 33 now?
Yeah. I'll be 33 this year.
Yeah. Okay.
So in July.
And is there a chance that, well, first of all, okay, but before I even get to there, when Rob Rauch was hired, because I know he was a big shot over at Garrett's place, were you just like, man, this motherfucker's coming for my job now? And fucking, I think something's going on with Rob. Do you trust Rob? That's what I'm asking.
I actually do trust Rob. Yeah, him and I've got a great. Just as soon as he started, like a couple weeks in, we were already throwing movie lines back and forth, and pretty much only communicating through those. And we just hit it off really well, and we've got a really good workflow. And that's actually the really nice thing because I manage everyone, like all the teams. I've got a great workflow with everybody, and we're really all in sync, just week after week. That's the nice thing. We all really count on each other, and no one's just kind of just falling off. Like everyone's relying on everybody.
Yeah, well, Rob is a nice guy, and from what I don't think that I've ever met him, but I've talked a lot about him. Like when Garrett came on the show and all that, like Garrett was just singing his praises. And did Rob go down there like specifically for the job, or was he moving to Georgia anyway?
No, he actually him and his wife both moved from, I believe, Pittsburgh down for the job.
For the job. Okay. Yeah, no, that's interesting. Okay. And do you see yourself like outgrowing Kinova in a couple of years, or do you think this is a job that you're going to retire at?
No, that's the kind of the cool thing. It's not outgrowing Kinova. It's more pushing Justin more and more out of the loop of Kinova. And I'm more of just him at that point, and he can still enjoy it because he loves. I mean, he truly has a passion for hatching cool stuff and just seeing cool babies year after year.
Right.
So he's got that passion, but I'm like, he's the entrepreneur, and we always talk like I'm the intrapreneur. Like I'm making it through the company where I can eventually kind of push him out more and more, and then everything is on me.
Right. And obviously when you say push him out, you don't mean vindictive push him out.
No.
You mean let him be able to
freedom to go do other things. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So you're second in command there.
Yeah.
You're like number one on Star Trek. I'm
like number one on Star Trek. Yeah. As long as I don't have a red shirt, man, we're going to be okay.
Yeah. You'll be fine. Yeah. As long as you don't have, and speaking of that, I'm going to ask you a bunch of Star Wars questions because I know you're the dude to ask them with. Okay. So
yeah, man.
Favorite Disney Plus TV show so far?
Oh man. So I actually thought, well, I love Mandalorian. I love maybe not the newest season, but the more rough seasons. I love Mandalorian, and then I actually like Ahsoka a lot, just because I like seeing like young Anakin. Just diving really deep into my nerdiness now, but younger Anakin as the Force ghost in the world between worlds was a big deal.
Yeah, and I think just to see the the Rebels people in live action was fucking
Oh
badass.
yeah. Oh my
Like,
gosh. Yeah. Seeing like Hera, especially, I was so excited.
right. And you're like, fuck, man. I was a big fan of Ahsoka. I enjoyed Ahsoka a lot, man. And I'm old enough to where when I came up on the original 3, but you're young enough to where the prequels were your thing, right?
No, so here's the cool thing. This is why I was like always crazy about Star Wars, because I was born like the perfect time, 91, but when I was like 4 or 5, they re-released the originals in theaters when they remastered them.
I remember that. Yeah, no, I remember.
Well, I grew up thinking that I saw them for the first time when they first ever came out, because I watched them in theaters for the first time, 4, 5, and 6, before the prequels came out. So I was like, oh, cool, they're going to do these now. So yeah, I grew up on the originals.
Yeah,
like
see,
that was my
awesome
thing.
I remember in like 94, 95, they did a whole exhibit at the Smithsonian in Washington, and I went down to that, and just seeing all the shit. I mean, now you could literally go, anywhere and fucking see movie props and shit that where they were done. But at that time, I had to drive like 6 hours down to the Smithsonian, and a friend of mine paid like $11,000 for a screen used TIE fighter with the with the Death Star run. And I was just like, you are fucking crazy, man. But like 2 years after that, he sold it for about $2,800. So he really he didn't lose everything, So
well, not everything. 3D printers really ruined that, because
I know, right?
Man, I got to send you a picture. I just 3D printed a full like Mule Walker AT-AT to like Star Wars Legion tabletop miniature size. It's massive.
No shit, really?
Yeah, it's
How
so
long
cool
did that
looking.
take you?
Like 4 nights.
Yeah,
like literally, like I'll start printing when I get home from work, and then I'll shut it off before I go to work. And literally over 4 nights, I printed this whole thing.
Shit, yeah, that's fucking. I haven't gotten into 3D printing yet, but I want to, because a friend of mine made me. Do you remember the show V?
Yeah.
He made me the gun from V, the blaster from V. And dude,
That's awesome.
It looked so fucking good. And I was like, man, like I would have killed for these things as toys when I was a kid, and now you could just make your own fucking toy. With a little patience and all the other shit. I even did the Hasbro selfie series. Did
you?
Oh yeah, fuck that. For $60, I'm like, fuck yeah, you get an action figure yourself. I'm like, shit, yeah. So that's fun too. I mean, of course, it's not here yet, but fucking,
of course not.
It is what it is. But do you like? Are you a collector now too? Do you still do shit like movie props and all that other shit?
No, not so much movie props, but I used to like collect the figures like by the cases. Like I would buy a case of like each wave that would come out, and I just don't do that now like I used to. I'll still get like convention exclusives,
right?
Just for fun, or like anything Thrawn, because he's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. Between him and Anakin / Darth Vader, they're my favorite. But
yeah, I got into the Black Series when the 6-inch ones came out.
Yeah,
I was just like, now I got to rebuy everything. And literally my entire house has toys behind glass, because when I was in the hospital the first time, I was like, man, when I get home, I'm going to just make every room like a happy memory place, right? Where, I have toys when I was a kid, and I have fucking all this other shit from when I was a kid. And I remember being in the hospital. I was there for like 4 months. And every day my father would come in, and he's like, yeah, I stopped by your place. You have 9 packages there. Yeah, I stopped by your place. You have 13 packages there. And I was like, all right, cool. Just put them in a pile. And when I came home for the first time, I was like, hand me one of those boxes there, right? And I fucking cut it open, and it was like a Darth Vader figure from 1977, 78,
nice.
The first release.
Yeah.
And the look of disappointment on my father's face. I mean, he was like, how much did you spend while you were in there? And I was like, $6,500, $7,000, like while I was in the hospital just bidding on shit on eBay. And he just shook his head. The only other time that I got that look from him was when I came back from California and I said, yeah, Dad, I'm starting a ball python business. And exact same look was just like, fucking dude, you have made some very wrong decisions in life, you know? So, but what do you do when you're not there, you know, at Kinova? I mean, but besides hiking, because that's all over your
I was gonna say, yeah, but if I'm not at work, I'm at the gym or I'm out running. You know, something that JT, Patrick, Andre, and I have all been doing lately too is like cold pods. So jumping into that thing like every other day.
Oh, I remember Patrick did.
Yeah, he put a video up. Yeah,
he
that
put
was
out
dedication.
a video for 15 minutes of lame shit. That was pretty gay, right?
Yeah, it was actually.
Right. and so you got a cold plunge at your house,
yeah,
like a
man.
Joe Rogan cold plunge.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy. And
yeah, so we all do. We've got a group chat just where we're like, hey, how cold was it today? And it's like, oh, I did 4 minutes at 32 degrees.
That's crazy. Like, that's one of the things that I just wish white people would stop doing. Right? It's just like, fucking stop. Yeah, you know, like, you could do it, but don't film yourself doing it and fucking be all gay and fucking, you know, because I just imagine like some poor son of a bitch that can't even afford his water bill watching your video and fucking like, these dudes just have fucking money to burn, you know? They're like, they have their bathtub outside, it's filled with ice and everything. So that, and does your wife do all this shit with you or no?
Absolutely not. No, she thinks we're all idiots. That, you know, literally we're breaking the ice because it's so cold outside for the cold pod to even get in it.
Right. Yeah.
And she's like, no, yeah. She's like, no, you're all idiots.
Does she do the hiking or anything like that with you?
Yeah. She'll hike with me. She'll hike with me. And then a couple times a year, she'll actually do a mountain race with me. Right. Where, so it's 3 miles up, 3 miles down on Kirky Mountain.
And what's harder, the up or down? Because I hear that going down is just as hard.
Well, so Kirky's interesting because the way the road is going down the mountain, you're actually going back up hills again. The way they've curved it, so you're getting destroyed up and down the hill, the mountain.
That's nuts, and that's especially nuts for a dude like you that had fucking like a tumor removed from your head, right?
Yeah,
and that's and you came back fairly quickly as far as like health.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. Like, you know, at the time, I really just didn't realize how blessed I was when, I mean, 2 days after surgery, brain surgery, I got to go home, and Mom and Dad luckily are in the medical field and knew what to look for, so they took care of me really well. And then even 5 days then after brain surgery, we went to the track in town and they walked a mile with me. They had to hold my hands. They both stood on either side of me and held my hands and walked a mile with me because I wanted to get out.
Yeah, that's
and then we
crazy.
We just made recovery a focus.
Did you do any of this before your surgery?
So not as much. I like, honestly, like probably 8 or 9 months before I knew I had an issue going on. Justin and I just started going to the gym every night, and that was just our normal thing. And I ended up losing like 50, 60 pounds just in that, you know, 8 or 9 months, just, you know, eating better. And just, I wanted to be healthy, you know, because I'm working with Justin and he's a healthy guy. And, you know, it was nice. And then thankfully I didn't realize it. That was also just priming and helping my body to be ready for a bigger fight that I had no idea I was going to go into.
Well, what was the, like, how do you know, like, something was wrong? Like, did you have a constant headache? Did you have a constant
No, I didn't have headaches at all. So I was having what we thought were like panic attacks where I was like, oh, I'm having one. And then I'd like have to go leave, like walk out of the snake room to fresh air kind of thing. And it turns out they were actually a type of seizure.
Oh, okay.
And a couple times with non-shaking seizures, like where a couple times I completely checked out, didn't realize what was happening, and then I came back and didn't know anything happened. Like I had no memory of it.
Okay. All right. And and what was causing that? Like, what would it was the tumor, or it was
Yeah.
something
Yeah. It was pressing
prior to
my
it?
flight or fight system, and it was causing those.
Okay. All right. And then how did you figure that out? Like, as opposed to, hey, I'm
Mom and
just
dad.
having
Well,
a panic attack, like,
I collapsed with one of those seizures while I
mm.
was driving my family. And as
Oh
soon as
God.
mom and dad saw it, yeah, as soon as mom and dad saw it, they jumped on it like a grenade. And we're like,
Right.
nope, we're going to the hospital now.
Right. Right. Yeah, I remember before I had the stroke, I passed out at like a gas station, and I was like, "What the fuck," And 6 months prior to that, I passed out at a reptile show in New Hampshire, and
Wow.
I woke up in the hospital, and I was just like, "Well, I feel fine now, so I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here," right? And then when it happened again, like 6 months later at the gas station, I was like, "Yeah, I ought to get something checked out." I ought to
Yeah.
see what's going on with this. Um, so I get it. But the thing that both of us have in common is uh when we had our issues, the community, for as much as I shit on it, came together hardcore, right? I mean, especially for
Yeah.
you. I mean,
Yeah.
you're
It was
you're way
incredible.
more liked than I am, but I felt a little love too, fucking I felt a little love. Um and how much did that help you kind of get back on track again?
Immensely. Just not having to worry about like all the medical bills and just, I mean, the community was there. They took care of my family, not just like financially. They also like emotionally and kind of spiritually took care of my family as well. Just people reaching out and asking my parents and my siblings, like, "Hey, do you guys need anything? Can we do anything for
Right.
you? Like,
Right.
you want to talk?" I mean, it was amazing. It was really amazing to, I hate that I had to go through it, but I'm so thankful for every single person. And so many people still come up to me and be like, "Hey man, I bought a snake in your auction. Like it's amazing to see how well you're doing."
Right.
And that's kind of one of those things that drives me to like always post, like, if I'm running up the mountain, like, "Hey, I'm doing this. No matter what you're going through, you can get through it."
Right.
Because I want to be able to pass that on, like give that hope that, yeah, you keep the right mindset, you push, you push, you push, and you'll get there. You'll get through hell.
Well, yeah, that's the same reason I post like leg videos and shit like that. Um, because the amount of people that I mean, more than the financial thing, the amount of people that just reach out for you to you that are total strangers,
Yeah.
and fucking, and you don't know, that they've been through something similar or whatever. That's kind of like what drove me, to come back to this and keep doing this show. Yeah, like I don't always want to do this dumb show every week. Like fucking. I mean, you kind of know that now because you're on a show now, right? And you're like, I don't want to do this dumb fucking show, but I kind of owe it to the people that kind of supported you.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
and
amazing. I mean, I still get hugs from strangers at every show. Just they were
right,
there, they supported me, and or someone just saying, "Hey, I went through this, and I'm on the other side." Like that's amazing. I just want you to know you're fine. And I mean,
right,
it's
right.
cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I've had people that lived as far as like Pennsylvania when I got out, and back home, just fucking coming by the house and fucking making me food for the week or making it, fucking dropping off shit. And it was cool as fuck because they're just you could tell that, and I don't mean this to sound condescending or anything, but you could tell that you had an impact on them just by what they do for you when you're going through the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that yeah, that's kind of the way I felt about it. And when you were going through your shit, was there ever like a chance of you thinking I'm not gonna have my job when I get back, or
Honestly, no.
mm,
I actually stayed in communication with Justin the whole time. I mean, that's the thing. Like he's like my big brother.
right?
I mean, he was there like the morning before I went up to Indy for surgery. He flew up and stayed with us at mom and dad's.
Oh, no
Um,
kidding, really?
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That's the thing. I mean, we're just super super close, and no, and nothing. I was never concerned about that, and he let me know that, hey, everything's all good. You're fine. You're gonna, Also, when you get home, I'll be here with waiting on you.
Well, now when you were gone, did Justin hire people kind of take your place while you were gone, or did Justin just knock out all the things that you would ordinarily knock out?
Both. We hired one guy at the time who's not with us now. He was a real good kid, and then Justin just doubled down. Like that's what he's good at. Like when times get tough, that dude can double down and just make it happen.
Right. No, I know. I mean, that's what I respect about the guy. You knew this was going to come up. What did you think of the New Yorker article?
Honestly, I thought it was cool. I really thought. I mean, I thought it was super cool. It was. I was excited. Just because we didn't say anything to anyone. We knew about it. They came in and we helped pick the snakes for all the photo shoots they did, and we get to talk to the journalists that put it all together. It was just really cool. I mean, it was awesome to get to see a lot of our stuff highlighted and Justin highlighted for the impact he's made in the industry. So I've got all the support for him. I thought it was awesome.
It was man, I just kind of felt like multiple ways about it. I thought it was great because it's bringing the hobby into like the spotlight. But is it bringing the hobby into the spotlight of people that would invest in the hobby?
Yeah.
It seemed very like highbrow to me. Yeah, especially the parts where they're like Justin, who stands 6'3" and is wearing Adidas. Yeah, I was like,
I laughed at that.
That's a little much, right? Like fucking.
I thought that was funny. She described his pants and everything. Like, he was wearing brown slacks and like literally named off the type of Adidas he was wearing, which
right.
They're just his old Adidas he's worn for years. I don't know why.
It was that part was just fucking weird. Okay. And like I said, I think it will it definitely painted everything in a positive light. So I have trouble hating on it too much, but I just thought, like, man, when we were in a band and we were submitting records for reviews, we were hoping that the New Yorker wouldn't put us in, right? Like, because that wouldn't help us at all. So I'm a little bit, like cross-haired in between it being good and it just being like, it definitely wasn't negative. It's not going to do a negative impact. But I was watching a show where Justin was on it the other night, and he was like, even if it turned out to be like an attack piece, he doesn't think that it would hurt the industry really all that much, because Kinova, as big as it is, it's really just like one company, right? Out of tens of thousands of companies that have put money into this.
Yeah, and then we talked about that months prior to it coming out, of just like, we don't think it's going to be a piece. Everything seems like really legit and like very genuine. So I mean, we definitely had that apprehension kind of at first, like, oh, this could go either way, but then it turned out really, really well. And I think it's going to make a positive impact.
Well, how come there wasn't a fucking paragraph relating to Chase and saying what kind of Reeboks he was wearing and what kind of t-shirt he was wearing?
I don't know. My quotes weren't good enough, man. I didn't make the cut.
There was no quotes from you in the whole thing, right?
No.
There was a quote from Summer. Did that piss you off?
No. Rob got quoted too. It was so funny.
Well, yeah, and Leviathan got quoted and Antoine got quoted, right? And I was like, yeah, this chick just doesn't really like Chase, man. Because I knew you were there. Please excuse this brief interruption for a word from one of our sponsors. Guys, if you own a business, go check out libertybusinessservices.com, okay? I'm going to read the ad because I still haven't committed it to memory, but it is what it is. I mean, this ad is a little bit more complicated because it's not just a ball python ad. So this guy actually had to put some thought into his ad, and he's a business guy, okay? He's a reptile owner and he's a business guy, and he wants to help out other businesses. Are you a 1099 employee, also known as an independent contractor? If so, Kevin from Liberty Business Services can help you receive up to $32,200. The self-employed tax credit was passed by federal legislation in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Fuck. Okay. I keep saying COVID, and fucking YouTube is going to fucking flag me for that. This money comes back to you in the form of a check from the U.S. Treasury. Or maybe you're a business owner with W-2 employees and experienced a partial or full closure, supply chain issue, or had a loss in revenue due to the vid. Okay. Due to the vid. I'll just call it the Kung Flu. Okay. The Employee Retention Credit Program was created for you. You can be eligible for the ERC program, which is a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Okay. Per employee. Okay. Let's see here. A portion of Liberty Business Services proceeds will be donated to USARC because Kevin is a lifelong reptile keeper. Okay. For more information, please call or text Kevin at 570-855-6060 or go to libertybusinessservices.com for more information. I know that the guys at Nerd used Kevin. I know that I believe Wilbanks used Kevin. I mean, if you have a ball python business, like an actual business with employees, I have zero doubt that Kevin can help you guys out. Again, check him out at libertybusinessservices.com. Look, it doesn't matter what reptile you're feeding. The Reptile Deli has it all. I'm beyond excited to have my old friend Brian Kazmarchak bringing the Reptile Deli to the strip mall that is Snakes and the Fat Man. I've watched Brian grow this business from a fucking storage pod to a 25,000 square foot facility in a state where they make it almost impossible for a small business to succeed, let alone grow. Reptile Deli has been producing some of the industry's best feeder rodents for almost 15 years. Their rodents are grown under the best conditions and regularly tested for quality to be sure they're in optimal health before they ship them right to your door. Reptile Deli also has a roach issue. They've spent years raising dubia roaches and have put insane efforts into R&D so that your pet reptiles get the very best. They offer cup dubia roaches, bulk dubia roaches, and wholesale dubia roaches in a variety of sizes. Are you one of those bioactive people? The deli offers simply the best isopods and springtails in the business with cutting-edge isopod and springtail technology that brings in unbelievable shelf life with biostable microhabitat culture cups. They have an incredible selection of isopods for sale, from rare species all the way down to the common roly-polies, man. Reptile Deli has grown into a cutting-edge feed manufacturer and are distributors of the most advanced reptile products. But don't take my word for it. Take the word of over 800 retail locations across North America that are selling their products. Check them out now at reptiledeli.com. You decided to do a podcast with two other fucking degenerates.
Yeah.
What made you do that? Like what made you just think, oh, this is going to be fun? And was there any pushback from Justin? Because Patrick is another ball python breeder. Troy is another ball python breeder. What was there any pushback about that?
So there actually wasn't any pushback. The three of us talk pretty constantly all the time anyways. I mean, Patrick loves to call, so I get calls from him, every other day regardless. Right. They were pretty funny. And he was like, we should actually just start recording these. And he's like, I think we should get Troy on it too. And so we asked Troy, and we're like, yeah, this is actually a pretty good idea, because the three of us all hang out together outside of Snakes too, where, they'll come down and spend a weekend at the house, and we'll just go do fun stuff there in Georgia. Right. I even got Troy up the mountain. I got.
Oh no shit! Really?
Yeah. I got him up Yona Mountain, where the Special Forces Army Rangers train. Like, it is a brutal mountain, and I got Troy up at one morning.
Yeah, but did he almost have a heart attack?
like 5 times. But he did. You know what? He
Yeah.
did it. He crushed it, man. It took us a while, but I was proud of him.
Yeah, man.
But
I
yeah, no.
remember
So
we
then,
went.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, but I just, I told it was funny because Patrick's like, you're going to have to tell Justin. I was like, yeah, I'm going to let him know. And then we just kind of thought it'd be funny to like have him as a guest, and then I just
Right.
be there to surprise
You
him.
just show up.
But I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not going to do that to him. I'm not going to do that to him. So I was like, hey, so I'm doing a podcast with Patrick and Troy, and he's like, okay. He's like, just whatever.
It's the reluctant okay, right? Like fucking. All
Yeah,
right,
it's
yeah,
like,
this is what you want to do.
use your time wisely.
Yeah, fucking Justin's like, those two are assholes, and you're like, yeah, no, I know, like fucking, it's it's it is what it is. But let's talk more about Troy getting up the mountain, because fucking, I remember we went to a mountain in Washington or Oregon, and I remember dying within like the first 30 feet or whatever. And this was when I had 2 legs and I was like 29, right? And see people walking down with their kids, carrying their kids. And you're like, why would you bring that much extra weight up there? Like, I left my wallet in the car. All right. Like, fucking, why would you do that? And then just to get to the top and take a dumb picture, I was so mad. Like fucking, we got to the top and my boy is like, hey, you ready? And I'm like, we just got here. Like I honestly thought that there would be like a Starbucks or something at the top and we could like chill out, get something to drink, and then fucking, then make the way back down. And Troy, with all the brown sugar that he fucking eats, I don't get it. I don't get how fucking he made it up, but good for him. Fucking. Is there anything going on special with Late to the Mic? Like, is there anything upcoming? Because you guys had like a month where you guys just had like fucking rock stars on, right? Like you in 1 month you had like Justin on, then you had Snake Discovery. Who would never come on this fucking show. So I was stupid jealous, right? And you had 2 other bigger names. And then I think the one after that month was like Billy from Arkansas, like Colorful Snake, whatever.
Yeah,
and I was like,
that's
is there anything like special coming up that you guys got going on, or you're just gonna keep rolling with this? Like,
we're having Bob Projects on. Yeah, pretty sure it's KG from Bob Projects.
Oh, KG, KG is great.
It'll be fun. Yeah. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Killing it. And like who runs all that? Is it you that runs Late to the Mic, or is
no? So that was the thing too, because I'm like, guys, I'm super busy, and they're like, yeah, but it's gonna be fun. Like, hop on. So luckily, I have input on like guests, because I'll just be like, hey, I really, this person's great. They're a great conversation. We should have them on. Whatever's gonna, who is gonna be a great conversation to hang out with for an hour and a half at 10 o'clock at night, because any other night of the week, I'm going to bed at 9 p.m. literally.
Right. Right.
And so I'm already staying up an hour past just to start it.
Has there ever been a guest on where you were just like, yeah, I don't like that guy?
No,
because I could tell you, I've had so many, like,
I'm sure
many.
you've got like a book of
Yeah.
people. You're like, I'm not having that dude back on.
Yeah. And like Bob Clark,
everyone's had a good conversation.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm just like, Bob Clark, who I fucking looked up to, when I was fucking 11. This guy was on the cover of National Geographic, and then you meet the guy and you're like, oh, he's kind of like a crotchety old man, and I'm like, this is not the Bob Clark I grew up with, like, what the fuck? What do you think? And I know you're probably limited on what you could say with this, but what do you think with everything that's going on with like Morph Market now, with all the new ownership and the auctions and all that other fun stuff that he's trying?
Honestly, we stay out of like the drama so much, and that's probably part of the reason we just keep like just focusing on the success because we don't have time for drama. We're busy like working ridiculous hours, making all the fun stuff happen. But I think the auctions are interesting to me personally. This is where it's the I'm saying check with your doctor. Don't I'm not a physician kind of thing. But this isn't for Kinova. This is me. But I'm interested about the auctions. I don't think they're great for the industry because I feel like it's a way for people to just kind of dump animals they don't want in a way. It's like, oh yeah, no reserve, just whatever it goes for, take it kind of thing, instead of just putting the value into the animal and then sticking into it for the long term. Like, yeah, if it doesn't move now, it could move in 2 or 3 months at what you're looking to get out of it, kind of thing.
Right, but like, do you think that one auction is a project killer? Because let's say, basically, what are Desert Ghost clowns going for nowadays?
GG clown, like what, 2K? I've seen some go for 1,500.
All right, so let's say it goes for 2K, right? If I buy one for 300 on a no reserve auction, that doesn't really kill the project, right? Because that was one fucking snake. Nobody's going to go down to $300, in real time selling. So I don't really mind the auctions, but I do think, man, I've just been seeing so many complaints on Facebook and Instagram about people not paying, people pulling out, people
that's the
setting
thing.
reserve prices, that are $200 below retail, like fucking, and that's the part that I think is hurting the thing more. Like, why list if your snake is worth 2K and you pop it on auction with a reserve for 1,800? Like, why even bother doing that? Like, because the people that'll spend 2K will spend 2K. They don't give a shit if they could have got it for 1,800.
Or they'll just send you an email through Morph Market and say, hey, could you take 1,750 or 1,800? And you just say, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I completely agree. Yeah, I'm seeing tons of people on Facebook right now just like, hey, yeah, this guy just didn't pay, like won the auction and then ghosted.
Well, right, and that's the thing you got to worry about. And then people are saying that that's Morph Market's issue to deal with. I don't really think it is. Like, I've always been a big proponent, even when John owned it. Like, Morph Market is a sales platform, right? It's not meant to police the fucking industry. So when people start saying, it's Morph Market's job to crack down on these tire kickers and all that, I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with Darian with 99% of the stuff he does, but I definitely don't think that it's Morph Market's issue to have to worry about what happens to your snake after the auction is over with, because they're just providing the platform, right? I mean, they're not, they're not gonna, they're not really eBay, so I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, no, I mean, even if like, let's just say it is more like kind of like eBay, all you're going to do in that case is just rate the person as a bad buyer, so people know, give them a 1 star and a review, and then that's it. And then people are going to know, oh yeah, that guy's probably going to flake out. So that their actions there will affect any of their future purchases.
Right. And
I
are you
that's the
seeing
easiest thing to handle it?
What's that?
I think that's just the easiest way to handle it. I mean, people will know with the rating system. I don't think Morph Market needs to go out of the way to, discipline people who ghost. Like, there's always going to be those people.
Right, exactly. Like, just think how many of those people do you get on a normal sale, right? Like, I remember when we were selling on Morph Market, for every snake listed, we'd get 5 people that ghosted us, so obviously that's going to transition into the auctions too. And what do you think about the mass exodus of collections being sold basically everywhere right now?
I mean, honestly, I think that's kind of normal with a lot of small businesses. When there's a down economy, instead of just kind of holding steady and getting through it, they fold. And you kind of hate to see it, but when the market does turn, it's everything's going to go back up. Like maybe it's not going to go back up to the, pandemic numbers, I'm sure, but the market's going to level out. And a lot of people just, they get nervous for whatever reason, or they're just having issues with rodents. And then they're just like, no, we can't do this. And, they're dumping what they put in thousands of dollars for pennies. And I think it's unfortunate because if you stay the course, you'll find the success.
And well, the thing is that a lot of people just can't afford to, right? Because they either overextended themselves on the actual snakes, and they can't afford to, feed them or whatever. I mean, they just think about how many restaurants closed during the pandemic, that couldn't weather out the storm, but everybody that has weathered out the storm has been doing, booming business now. How long do you think this downturn is going to be?
I mean, honestly, just kind of looking at projections and, I like the market and stuff like that. It's another thing Justin and I just like to talk about and bounce back and forth. But probably another year through 2024. And then we might start seeing a turn. We think, halfway through 2025, hopefully, where things start going back to normal. But we'll see. I mean, I typically don't get too political on things, but, it is an election year. So, who knows how things will go. But
well, I mean, you could say it. Doesn't our industry tend to be better when there's a Republican in office than when there's a Democrat in office? I mean, that's not picking sides.
No, that's not picking sides. I agree. I agree. At least with the current administration. I mean, nothing positive is happening in any markets, really.
Right. Well, yeah. But, I mean, that's. Basically, you said all you had to say without saying it right there, pal. All right. So it is what it is. Is that a Justin move? Did you learn that from Justin? Just like, I'm going to give an opinion that says nothing, but it just gets my point across. Did Justin have anything to do with that training?
But no, I mean, that's the thing. Like this, the cool thing is it's like our 20th anniversary this year at Kinova, and it's nice that Justin has already gone through, 2 or 3 of these big waves with the economy, and just kind of already has the knowledge on how to navigate it and how to really double down. And that's what we're doing. And a lot of people, I see on Facebook are just, oh, I'm not producing as many clutches this year. I'm not making as many pairings because I don't want the babies. And, for us, just if you think about it, every time that you don't do a pairing and you don't produce that clutch, that could shorten your future farther and farther, because that clutch could have a baby that changes the next 5-10 years.
Right.
So we even in times of famine, we're going to double down and we're going to hit those things to make that next 5 or 10 year mark of we've got the future.
Right. Well, the thing is too, the majority of people, 95%, I would probably say, they can't weather the storm, right? So but at the same time, like if you have some kind of reserve, I mean, this just has to be a great time to be a buyer, right?
Oh yeah, it's a crazy buyer's market out there with the people like dropping their collections and just trying to move racks and everything. I mean, if someone really wanted to get started with a big imprint, they can and
you're frozen
really
again.
Clean up when the market comes back.
You froze up during that whole part. We missed the last 20 seconds.
Oh, all right. Well, it is a buyer's market where, someone could really come in and just clean up with, if they're investing in the right stuff, the right animals and the racks. I mean, they could be primed to make a big imprint when the market comes back around and have a really nice.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember even 3 years ago, if you come into this with $100,000, you could buy the good stuff and you could kind of make a quick mark. But now I think if you come into it with $10,000, you can make a mark just as good, because people are just selling shit for so cheap. Like people that I've seen years putting money and time into a fucking animal are selling that animal for 30 cents on the dollar, just to get out of it, So I think, this would be the best time to buy it. You know, if I had a ton of money, I wanted to invest it, you know, in this, you know, put 10 grand into it and fucking, you know, you could jumpstart a business with 10 grand, and you can't really do that with
Yeah.
any other business, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and start a business in the sense of not just stickers, like
Right,
20.
right, right. Actually doing something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they could get some really serious animals. I mean, just amazing stuff.
Well, being that you said that, speaking of that, I mean, what's your opinion on these sticker breeders? Like, are you just like, these guys are never going to buy from Kinova anyway, so we're not going to advertise, because Kinova does have low end snakes for sale. You know,
Yeah,
$800,
we
$1,000. Right, right. So, what do you think of these sticker people that are just coming in, you know, saying, you know, oh, I'm going to be the next big thing, or you know, I'm gonna have a podcast and I'm gonna tell people how they should invest and fucking, you know, like all the bullshit in the industry, and you don't have to comment too hard on it, because I know the community helped you out, you know, a lot, like they did me. But it's my feeling that 75% of the hobby still sucks, okay, and still fucking, you know, and still are just like these white trash dudes that are starting up fucking, not just dudes. I mean, there's women in there too, and just starting up podcasts and telling people how to do it because they've kept a ball python for 4 months. What's your take on that?
You know, I think we were all probably there to a slight degree at one point. I know when I first got in, I was just, you know, little me right out of high school. I was so excited, and you know,
Right,
I found Justin on, you know, oh God, no Morph Market back then. Who knows, like Bush League Breeders Club
right,
back then.
right,
And I was like, oh man, this guy's the coolest, you
right,
know, and Mike Wilbanks, those guys. And so I wanted to be like them. Like I wanted to be the next big thing, you know, that was my dream. But I think the sticker people are like the same. They just have that mentality. But now there's so many companies like Sticker Mule and those where they can instantly make a
makes
brand
it so cheap.
easier,
Yeah,
than, you know, it was 10 years ago, where they have all that. They, you know, they put the cart in front of the horse, so they don't.
well, that's
have
what I think. These people coming into it now have like no idea how hard it was, right? Well,
Yeah,
like even 10 years ago, like if you wanted stickers 10 years ago, you had to find a company that just produced stickers, and fucking it wasn't no 3-day turnaround. It was like fucking, oh, you'll get your stickers next month, or you'll get, you know, whatever.
yeah, they
You
were
know,
coming from Pakistan or China, and
right, right. They have no idea, and I think that's because of the easiness of it, that like attracts a lot of people into it, right? Because you
yeah,
could say, oh, I love ball pythons, I love snakes, I want to be a snake breeder, right? um but you can't do that now and expect to be successful without the dumb stickers, without the dumb hats, without the fucking t-shirts, you know, without having a big Instagram presence, or you know, even Facebook, even though I know that's for old people, so nobody cares anymore. But fucking, it's I think the ease of getting into it has also been the negative part of it 3 years later, you know.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely, because they jumped in, you know, full force with, you know, building the walls for the house without the foundation, and then, you know, now when times get tough and there's no foundation, it's easier to kind of fall. And
right,
we definitely see that. But yeah, I think a lot of people, you know, they're still making the exact same animal mistakes too that we all made 10 years ago, where, you know,
right,
as soon as you get in, you're buying all the cool, you know, things that look pretty, that, you know, you don't have a business plan. You're not coming in with like, oh, this, I see all these things, you know, in black and white, and this is exactly the projects that are working. This isn't, I really like these. You know, they're not focused on that business plan. They want a cool name, and they want the stickers and the t-shirts and stuff. And,
right,
you know,
right.
in reality, that stuff should come later, and you should focus on the projects that you're going to invest in, and really put a business plan together before you start.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, but you could almost tell the people that do do a business plan versus the people that don't, right?
Absolutely. Just
I
conversation
mean,
at shows. Like there's conversations we'll have at shows where some people are just like, okay, they're just buying whatever because they're having fun, and that's
right,
okay if that's their thing. But then we'll also have the same conversations with someone who has put just hours and hours and hours into writing up an actual plan and be like, hey, these are my thoughts. This is what I'm looking at. Can I get your opinion if I'm on the right direction? And this is what I'm looking to invest.
right,
And
right.
and they're looking at it from a true, very serious investment standpoint. And I mean, it's a big difference.
Well, yeah, and you and Justin too have been doing it long enough where, like, when a guy comes up to you to talk, like within what 10 seconds whether he's going to be a successful guy or not, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I know that's the whole don't judge a book by its cover, but I've talked to some fucking morons that are like, yeah, I took 70 grand out of my retirement and put it into ball pythons. And you're looking at the guy and you're like, yeah, I don't know if I would have did that if I was you. Like fucking you're obviously buying wrong things. You didn't do any research. You didn't, so it's just 70 grand out of his pocket. But at the same time, it's also good for the hobby, right? Because that's 70 grand put into the hobby, right? So I think that people just have to, watch where their money is going, more.
Absolutely. I mean, and I feel like that's just even outside of ball pythons. That should be
Right.
something they're focused on in all aspects of life. That's
Right.
just be more well-rounded with what you're spending money on and using your head. And just
right. Like at the end of the day, the drama is still and the stupidity is still involved in like every business, right? Like you could meet a guy that says I put 100 grand out of my retirement in to build hard drives for a living. And fucking you're like, yeah, I don't think you're going to be successful at that. Just from the person's personality and kind of outwards appearance and body language. I could tell now, and I think it's awesome. I love seeing people waste their money. Like I definitely I have some kind of kick out of other people's misfortune, but fucking then I just worry about, I'm like, fuck, maybe somebody was getting a kick out of my misfortune. Like, do I really want to be this guy?
Yeah.
So so you kind of want to be nice about it, but not too like, I just wish I met some of these people like 2 weeks before they dropped their 100 grand or fucking.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And just said, all right, I want you to think about this. Like, you are a cashier at a store, at an auto parts store, and you make $11 an hour. Now, the fact that you saved up 100 grand, you don't have to go into ball pythons. You're a good little saver, okay? Fucking, so you could just keep that money and keep it in the bank, and it'll guarantee to pay off something, as opposed to putting all the time and work into, because that's another thing. I think people get into this not knowing the actual amount of work is involved. Like 100 snakes is a full-time job after your job. And you have to be prepared to do that every fucking day for the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And I just don't see like the green tree people going through this, or the monitor people going through this. And do you think that's just because it's so easy to breed ball pythons? Because people are finding out that it's not as easy to sell ball pythons.
Yeah. Yeah, I really think it is. It's that kind of just the ease of not just breeding ball pythons, but just the care, like the ease of care with ball pythons. Because I mean, green trees need a whole different setup for making sure they're all maintained and do well, and making sure they shed perfectly. And then monitors, they take so much space. Like that's the easiness of ball pythons also makes it tough, because you can have so many, but then you've got to care for so many. I mean, even with what we do, the only full day a week I take off is a Friday. Otherwise, I'm in the facility at least for a little bit every day. Like even like Saturday nights, Justin and I are in there working on pairings, or I'll ship and do stuff all day Monday and then go back in on Monday nights. And Justin and I are out there doing a feed on girls who need it. Like just making sure you're doing every little thing to make it perfect.
So your place right now is close to Kinova.
Yeah, I'm like I live like 15 minutes away from the facility, so it's just a drive down the road.
Yeah, that makes me wonder. When I was there, how come you didn't at least stop by and say hi? But well, whatever.
You know what? No. I'm going to get into it because no one told me you were coming, and when I showed up Sunday, I was pretty salty.
Were you salty? Yeah.
No one said you were there, and I was like, guys, maybe we should mention Chris is in town next time because
that's because it so doesn't matter to Justin or Summer that I'm coming in. It's just like they're just like, so the fuck what? Like we don't want to advertise that this dude is coming. All right. Like we're still cool with him and we're his friend, but let's not, it's like your one drug addict friend. You're like, all right, fucking, sure, you could still come by, but I'm not going to tell anybody that you were here. That's cool. All right. But it is what it is. I want to thank you specifically because you were one of the four, you, Summer, JT, and Patrick, that went all over Texas looking for a mannequin leg for everybody to fucking sign at Arlington. And I appreciated that. And I love the fact that Patrick was fucking DMing me video every 5 minutes to be like, Chris, we think we found a place. We found a guy. And that was kind of awesome to see. And I really want to thank you guys because that definitely cheered me up when you guys were doing that.
Oh, dude, we all love you. We've been friends for years now, and we want to take care of each other. That's what we do for those ball python people that you love so much. We think you're pretty big deal.
Well, it was cool because it was JT who was also the recipient of fucking, the hobby helping him out when he had his fire. And there was you. And, I definitely like appreciated that. I was like, that fucking even JT and fucking Chase doing. It surprised me that Summer did it because when I did meet Summer, I thought Summer doesn't think I'm funny at all. Like she did not laugh at any of my jokes. Like before when I was down there, I was interviewing Joy, and I asked Summer, I'm like, is Joy here yet? And she's like, no. And then I'm like, good, fuck, shit, cocksucker, goddamn it, fuck, just like getting all my fucking cursing out before Joy got there, right? And Summer didn't even crack a smile or nothing. She was just like, yeah, you're an idiot, So I was especially surprised seeing her as part of the crew that was looking for the leg, and I appreciate it. And she's the one I hear that got Patrick to film everything. So that was definitely cool too.
Yeah, I think that goes back though with like JT and I doing that just to our conversation previously of, when you go through something, you want to give back. I mean, just like you with your leg, you want to give back to other people, right. Like tell them, like, hey, look, I'm doing fine. This is okay. Like tough days, you'll have them, but you're going to get through. And I think when you go through something big like that, it's like, wow, I was helped. Now I've got to help others. And
right.
Just the fact that we all knew, the three of us knew each other previously and we're all friends, it's kind of crazy that we're like, oh yeah, we're going to double down. We're going to be those guys that do that and help get our friend through.
Well, that's what I told Patrick. I was like, listen, if you lose an arm, and I don't want Patrick to lose an arm, okay? I don't want him to lose an arm, but I will go mannequin part shopping for Patrick and fucking get him that arm, okay? I'll get any of you guys the arm, okay?
I'm telling you, the arms are the easy one because I was making calls all morning. I was sitting literally at JSA's booth all morning at Arlington, just calling department stores, and they're all like, well, we've got arms. I'm like, look, lady, he didn't lose one of those. I need a leg.
Yeah, that would be that wouldn't even make sense. Like Chris lost a leg, so we're auctioning off this signed arm. Like fucking, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I got the point. The feeling was there. I appreciate it. But where is Chase going to be in 5 years? You think you're still going to be at Kinova?
Yeah, man, that's the full plan to still be at Kinova and still making the coolest babies in the world. Just getting the opportunity to keep living my dream, honestly.
And not that he wants anybody to, but how could people get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Yeah, my Instagram for Kinova is still JKRMGR. I didn't change it even though the company name changed. And or they can just reach out to me on Facebook or check us out on Late to the Mic, and our Late to the Mic Instagram.
Are you guys monetized yet?
We're not, no.
Come on, everybody, you got to get Late to the Mic monetized. So go and fucking check out Late to the Mic, subscribe and like it, because they need those super chats, because fucking Chase, Patrick, fucking Troy, they're definitely slumming it and are not successful enough that they need those fucking super chats. Patrick, how did you meet Patrick? I'm just curious.
At a Tinley, actually.
And did you become friends with him knowing that he's probably the biggest Kinova competitor or not?
I mean, he likes to think that. I always like to give him a hard time, yeah, you're close. No, he's great. Yeah, we actually hit it off like right away at that one of the first Tinleys we met. And I shipped him a snake. It's a funny story because we watch Anchorman all the time. Like, we all love that movie. Right. And Rob Burgundy's got the like purple pants from Anchorman. I'm like, yeah, and I had a pair of those, and he's like, I need a pair for Anchorman, but my wife won't let me. I bought him a pair and shipped him with a snake one time, and then he wore them to the next show. But yeah, after that,
I mean, Patrick is so deadpan funny, like fucking. The first time I met him was in Arlington in like 2016 or 17, and he didn't have Chimera back then. Obviously, it was still McKnight Stables, right? And I just thought, man, the Stables thing is such a dumb name. I want to talk to this guy, right? And we just started talking. He was there for hunting, and I was just like, I'm from New York, so I'm like, what do you do if you have to take a shit? And that's what started off the whole fucking friendship, was fucking that dumb, what do you do if you have to take a shit in the woods question was what started off my fucking friendship with him. And I fucking love the guy, man. I mean, Chimera, like Kinova, they did nothing but fucking support me. I mean, they support every show that I fucking do, so so I love Patrick and Andre. And then how'd you meet Troy?
Troy, just through the shows. We were all vended close to each other at Tinley, because with JSA was always right there at our left,
right,
and then us, and then Troy was on the other side of us,
right.
And he's just so funny. I mean, just the way he kind of just rips on his friends, and he always says, if I'm making fun of you, it's because I love you, and it's so true. Like, he's just a dude with the biggest heart, but he's also just always got the best jokes, just constantly ripping on us. And we just hit it off over that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but okay, cool.
Don't worry. It's there.
No, I think Troy is awesome. I actually think that whole Late to the Mic crew is bringing something different, to it, because you guys have the knowledge, you guys have the experience, but you guys still just bullshit with each other, and it's not like you don't think you're learning with Late to the Mic, but you're definitely learning while it's happening, so it's a good show, man.
We just wanted it to be like essentially what we would talk about on the phone to each other every week anyways, but we just bring some guest on to hang out with us and pretty much chat, shoot the shit, and find out more about them than what we may not know from shows or just on more.
Well, again, everybody go subscribe to Late to the Mic. Go friend or what's it on Instagram? Follow JKRMGR, right, on fucking Instagram, and tell everybody, fucking make sure you tell Chase what a fucking great job he did here today. So, dude, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're on vacation, or semi-vacation, semi-vacation. I just want to let everybody know. Can I tell them what's going on?
Yeah, you can let them know for sure.
All right, Chase is having surgery tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow, to get a thyroid thing taken care of.
Yeah, they're gonna remove my thyroid, so I'll have a little scar right there.
So, but nothing with the head, right?
No, head's all clear. Had a clear MRI in January, and I've got another one at the beginning of July. And after that, my doctor's like, dude, we're going to have to push you off to once a year. He's like, some people would have done it years ago, but you're good.
Don't you love that with fucking when you go, because I do ultrasounds every 3 months on the good leg, and when you hear that everything's running perfectly, aren't you like, fuck yeah, like fucking
I get the best sleep.
Yeah, seriously, right? It's so fucked up because a little part of you is worried every time you go in. You're like, what if they have to do this? What if they have to do that? And once you hear it looks better than last time, like the amount of weight that comes off your shoulders, it's like fucking. It's like when you used to just get an STD check. And as you're going in to get the check, you just think about every horrendous fucking questionable skank that you've slept with. And you're like, man, if I got anything, it's definitely because of Barbara or whoever, And then when you find out you're free and clear, you're just like, yes, like fucking, like King Kong ain't got nothing on me, like fucking, it's the best feeling in the world. So Chase, good luck with everything tomorrow. And thank you for hanging out, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. I love hanging out with you, and I'm glad we got to record something.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be getting a beer at Tinley in October. So,
man, I hope so. And next time you're down in Georgia, hit me up. Come stay.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I call you right away. Yeah,
make sure you let me know you're gonna be there, and I'll take you out to a really cool German place for some great beer straight from Germany.
That's fucking awesome. I'll definitely do that because I plan on going to Knoxville this summer. So while I'm there, I mean, it's only a 4-hour drive from you guys. So, brother, thank you again so much, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Everybody, Chase Patton, Kinova, JKRMGR on Instagram. Thanks, brother.
Yep. See you guys.
You got to go to a herp show, man. You got to go to a herp show. Sean and Lori are still killing it after years of fucking killing it. They're still the best run local show promotion in the country. I have zero doubt about that. Listen, tomorrow they're going to be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's March 2nd and 3rd. They're going to be in Bryan, College Station on March 9th and March 10th. They're going to be in Rosenberg, Texas. Man, I really didn't think there'd be a big Jew population in Texas, but apparently there's enough that they named a whole town for them. They're going to be in Rosenberg, Texas on March 16th and 17th. They're going to be in Slidell, Louisiana on April 6th and April 7th. Going to be in Austin, Texas. There's probably a lot of Jews in Austin too, right? That's a real rich area. April 20th and 21st. They're going to be in West Monroe, Louisiana on March 4th and 5th. They're going to stay in Lake Charles, Louisiana on June 1st and June 2nd. In West Monroe. Did I say May 4th and May 5th or March 4th and March 4th? Well, it's going to be in May. So May 4th and May 5th, they're going to be in West Monroe, Louisiana. Lake Charles, they're going to be June 1st and June 2nd. And in Conroe in June 8th and June 9th. That's, one of their biggest shows. So listen, you can't not go to a herp show. Okay. They're in 3 states, which means that if you're anywhere within 3 states, go fucking check them out. Again, go tell them what a great job they're doing at herpshow.net. Everybody, thank you for hanging out for the whole show. Don't think that I don't appreciate you guys, because I do. Again, thanks to all the guys or all the people that showed up for our herp collectors interview with myself and Donato. Mike is just a fucking gracious, fucking classy dude, man, and I fucking love Mike. I'm gonna have him on the show one time in the next couple of months, and that's probably gonna be live. Okay, by the time we do that, fucking you should go subscribe to herpcollectors.com. I mean, basically, I'm gonna do a lot more pimping out of the people that I think are doing a great job with podcast, and Mike is definitely one of them, and rising tide lifts all ships, right? So I definitely want to show support and promotion for the podcasts that I think are great. And Mike is one of them. Fucking Holdback Rack is one of them. Late to the Mic is one of them. There's so many great podcasts out there that you should watch, but there's so many shit podcasts out there that you shouldn't watch. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that because I'm trying not to be negative at all this episode. So, but anyway, go check that out on the Herb Collectors channel. It was me and Donato. It was a lot of fun. If you get offended easily, it's probably not the show that you want to watch. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not even going to do a Patreon plug this time because I just think that I'm going to switch everything over to the Fat Man Network, and I'll pimp that out when that's actually available. But thank you to all the Patreon people who have been supporting me there. I appreciate it. You guys are like fucking family, and you guys know that anything that I could do for you guys, you just say the word, and I'll make sure that it gets done. Anyway, I'm planning on having a Hot Girl episode this Sunday night, but I'm not positive. The person hasn't gotten back to me yet. So if there's not a Hot Girl episode, there'll definitely be a Zoom call where everybody could just hang out and bullshit and talk about their week. And that's not going to change. That's going to always still happen. And I think that we're just going to have to switch the nights because my Sunday nights are going to be filled up between the Fat Man Live show and my one black friend and my one white friend show. So there might be a possible night change for the Zoom call, but we'll just see what happens. But again, guys, thank you so much. I mean, you guys, no matter how stupid I fucking sound, and no matter how many stupid fucking things I say, you guys keep coming back, and I appreciate the support. And hopefully I'll say less stupid shit in the future. But either way, I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy, guys. Everyone talks their own shit about what kind of racks you should buy. Metal racks are great, but everyone doesn't want a goddamn 7-foot high, 6-foot wide, 2,000-pound metal rack in their fucking house. That's a 2-refrigerator footprint, man. 2 fucking refrigerators. Sea Serpents makes insane quality racks that could fit anywhere. They're stackable PVC racks that are living room friendly, and they're shipped fully assembled with heat tape already installed. Just plug it into a thermostat and you're ready to go. When we had the shop, we had over 20 Sea Serpent racks there before they ever became a sponsor of Snakes and the Fat Man. I don't breed much anymore these days, but I still have a few racks here in my house, and you could be goddamn sure that they're Sea Serpents. Oh, and they also make hotbox incubators, probably the best reptile incubators made in America. At the height of our breeding business, we had 4 4-foot hotbox incubators, and again, I still have a small hotbox incubator here in case anything I keep actually does breed. Go to SeaSerpents.com and check out their incredible selection of PVC racks and tell Chris Nettles that the Fat Man sent you.